Good morning, students. This is your Hardcore 2 class. In the last class, you have studied about structural organization and function of nucleus and also mitochondria. And in this class, let us discuss about the structural organization and function of Golgi bodies and also lysosomes. First, let us move on to structure and function of Golgi bodies. So, Golgi bodies, it is also called as Golgi apparatus, Golgi complex, Dalton complex, and also apparato reticular. So, these Golgi bodies are a complex cytoplasmic structures made up of smooth membrane sacules, or it is also called as cisternae, a network of tubules with vesicles and vacuoles which takes part in membrane transformation, secretion and also production of complex biomolecules. And these Golgi bodies, it was first seen by George in the year of 1867, but is named after Italian scientist called Camillo Golgi, and who is in 1898 recognized the apparatus as reticular structure, that is apparato reticular, that is these are the Golgi bodies which are present near the nucleus. So Camillo Golgi, he has given the name called as Golgi bodies, and its structure was studied under electron microscope by Dalton and Felix in the year of 1954. So, this is the diagram of Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. So, this Golgi apparatus consists of a membrane, that is sacules or cisternae. So, you might observe the presence of a cisternae or sacules, and you may observe a network of tubules with the vesicles. So these are the vesicles, that is newly forming vesicle. These are the secretory vesicles. Here incoming transport vesicles. So we are going to observe the vesicles in the Golgi bodies, and also we are going to observe the lumen and the two phases of the Golgi bodies, that is cis phase and also trans phase. So in details, let us study in the structure of a Golgi bodies. Next, in the occurrence. So where does it occur? These Golgi complex or Golgi apparatus is absent in our prokaryotic cells, but it present in all eukaryotic cells except sieve tubes of a plants, sperms of bryophytes and pteridophytes, and also red blood corpuscles of mammals. So these are absent in prokaryotic cells but present in all eukaryotic cells, but some of the exceptions like sieve tubes of a plant, bryophytes and pteridophyte sperms, and also red blood corpuscles of mammals. Next is the location. So in animal cells, Golgi complex or apparatus is either single or consists of single connected complexes. In plant cells, these Golgi apparatus is formed of number of unconnected units called as a dictyosomes. So in case of plants, we call it as a dictyosomes. Their number is highly variable from 1 in certain simple algae to 25,000 in rhizoidal cells of Chara. So the number is variable from species to species. Commonly, there are 10 to 20 dictyosomes per plant cell. So in a plant cell, we are going to observe 10 to 20 dictyosomes. Next, let us move on to the structure of a Golgi apparatus. So the structure mainly consists of four parts, that is cisternae, tubules, vesicles and vacuoles. So first let us know what is the shape of this Golgi apparatus. The shape and also size of Golgi complex are not fixed. So that is the shape and the size, it varies based on the species of plants or maybe of animals. They depend upon the physiological state of cells, and a typical plant dictyosome is 0.5 to 1 picometer in diameter, and usually Golgi complex is made up of four parts. That is, what I have told is four parts are cisternae, tubules, vesicles and also vacuoles. So in the diagram you are going to observe these four parts, that is cisternae. The tube-like structures what you are going to observe, these are the cisternaes. So these are the cisternaes. And also second part is the tubules. So cisternae are connected by tube-like structures, they are called as tubules. Next is the vesicles. So vesicles, and also fourth part is the vacuole. So these are the four parts of Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus. So let us discuss one by one. First one is a cisternae. The Golgi complex consists of a stalk of generally 4 to 8 membrane bound saccules or cisternae. Unicisternal dictyosomes are found in fungi. The membranes of the saccules or cisternae are smooth but of variable thickness. They enclose a lumen of 60 to 90 angstrom. So these cisternae, what we are going to observe, these cisternae, they consist of a lumen of 60 to 90 angstrom. So this is the lumen, this is the hollow structure what we are going to observe, called as a lumen, and it is having 60 to 90 angstrom thickness, and lumen contains a fluid substance or matrix. So in the lumen we are going to observe fluid substances. In a stalk, the adjacent cisternae are separated by a distance of 100 to 300 angstrom. So the cisternaes, what these cisternaes are present, they are separated by 100 to 300 angstrom distance, and the intercisternal space contains thin layer of cytoplasm having parallel fibrils. The saccules are frequently curved to give a definite polarity to the Golgi apparatus. So these saccules or cisternaes, they are always curved form. One face of apparatus is convex while the other is concave. So in the diagram you might observe both the convex and also concave face. The convex side is called forming face, or it is also called as formative or cis face. So the convex side is called as a cis face. So this is the cis face, while the concave side of the apparatus is known as a maturing phase or a trans phase. So this is the convex phase and this is the trans phase, is the concave phase. The membranes of a maturing phase are 7 to 8 nanometer in thickness, while those of forming phase are about 4 nanometer in thickness. So the cis phase and trans phase, what we are going to observe, there is a difference in the thickness. And the forming phase receives vesicles from endoplasmic reticulum. That is, the cis phase, it is going to absorb the or receive the vesicles from endoplasmic reticulum and their contents are passed through various cisternae. What the cis phase are going to receive the vesicles from endoplasmic reticulum. These are moves towards the cisternae and with the help of coated vesicles and intercisternal connectives, they ultimately reach the maturing phase where they are budded off as a secretion, coated or Golgian vesicles or vacuoles. So these are those, that is Golgian vesicles are vacuoles. While passing through the apparatus, biochemicals are variously transformed. So next is tubules. So these are the tubules. They form a complicated network toward the periphery and maturing phase of the apparatus. So these are going to form a network towards the periphery. So you might observe in the peripheral region the tubules are always present and they have a diameter of 30 to 50 nanometer and the tubules interconnect the different cisternae. So these tubules are going to interconnect the cisternae. So third one is a vesicles. They are small sacs of 20 to 80 nanometer diameter. So these are the vesicles, but they are very small in size, that is about 20 to 80 nanometer in diameter. The vesicles are found attached to the tips of tubules at various levels in the network. So in the diagram you might observe these vesicles are found attached to the tips of tubules. They are of two types, smooth and coated. The coated vesicles have a rough surface. They elaborate membrane proteins, and the smooth vesicles have a smooth surface. They contain secretory substances and hence known as secretion vesicles. And a fourth part is a Golgian vacuoles. So these are the vacuoles. They are expanded parts of a cisternae which have become modified to form the vacuoles. So the vacuoles develop from the concave or maturing phase. So always these vacuoles, they develop from the maturing phase. And the Golgian vacuoles contain amorphous or granular substance. Some of the Golgian vacuoles function as a lysosomes. So these vacuoles, they also function as a lysosome. So this is the structure of Golgi apparatus. Now let us move on to function of a Golgi apparatus. So first function is transformation of a membranes. That is, Golgi complex bring about membrane transformation, that is converting one type of membrane into other types. And it is also helps in salicylic acid and galactose are made inside the Golgi complex. Some of the carbohydrates, that is salicylic acid and also galactose, are also made inside the Golgi complex. That is the formation of special simple carbohydrates. Next one is hormones. Production of hormones by endocrine gland is mediated through the Golgi apparatus. And also it helps in fat transport. The fatty acids and also glycerols absorbed by the intestinal epithelium are transferred as a fat to lacteal through the Golgi complex. So this Golgi complex helps in a fat transport and also in the formation of a new cell wall. Some of the pectic compounds of middle lamella and various polysaccharides of a cell wall are secreted by the Golgi complex. That is, the polysaccharides of a cell wall are secreted by Golgi complex, and these are brought to the area of a new wall synthesis by the secretion of a vesicle. So, new cell wall is formed by the Golgi complex or Golgi apparatus. So, this is the structure and function of Golgi apparatus. So, now let's move on to the second organelle called as lysosome. So, lysosomes are ultrastructural particles of a cell containing hydrolytic enzymes which are responsible for a digestion. So, these lysosomes, these are specially meant for digestion. Though these are common in animal cell, but in plants these are found in lower groups. In animal cells these are present, but in plants in lower groups we might observe the lysosomes. That is, in plants some of the euglenoids and also slime molds, and in some of the saprophytic fungi we are going to observe the lysosomes. The particles which are isolated from tobacco and maize seedlings contain several of hydrolases found in animal lysosomes. They are called because they contain lytic or destructive enzymes, and the enzymes if released can digest the cell. So, the enzymes which are released by these lysosomes can digest the cell, and these lysosomes, for that they are called as suicidal bags or suicide bags, because they are going to digest the cell. Next, let us move on to the structure of lysosome. So, these lysosomes are globular in appearance and the size vary from 0.2 to 0.5 micrometer in size and without any characteristic shape or structure. And these are bounded by single lipoprotein membrane containing enzymes in crystalline form. So, the enzymes what we are going to observe in the lysosomes, they are in the form of crystals, and the enzyme present are phosphate, nuclease, lipase, protease, glycosidase, sulfates and also amylase. So, these are some of the enzymes present inside the cell lysosomes. And the membrane is impermeable to substrates of enzymes contained in the lysosome. Certain substance called labilizers cause instability of lysosome membrane, leading to release of enzymes from the lysosome. Other substances called stabilizers have a stabilizing action on the membrane. This prevents uncontrolled digestion of the cell contents and thus protects the cell from autolysis. So, labilizers, they are going to have a instability of lysosomal membrane, but stabilizers have a stabilizing action on the membrane, and these stabilizers, they are going to control the cell or protect the cell from a autolysis. And the lysosome show polymorphism in different cell types. There are two basic types of lysosomes, that is primary lysosome and secondary lysosome. The Golgi complex buds of primary lysosome containing hydrolytic enzyme, the vacuole or phagosome arising by endocytosis associates and fuses with primary lysosome to form a secondary lysosome. And the incomplete digestion results in residual bodies. That is, when the digestion is incomplete, it leads to the formation of residual bodies, and the lysosome sometimes include intracellular part like mitochondria or endoplasmic reticulum for digestion and are called as autophagosome. So this is the structure of lysosome. That is, lysosome consisting of a phospholipid bilayer, enzyme complex, proteins, and also these all consist of a hydrolytic enzyme mixtures. Next, let us move on to the function of lysosomes. So lysosomes are bags containing digestive enzymes, and these are involved in digestion of intracellular and extracellular particles. And the primary lysosomes secrete hydrolases outside by exocytosis, resulting in the degradation of extracellular materials. So the primary lysosomes helps in degradation of extracellular material, and also the saprophytic fungi utilize extracellular digestion for a nutrition. And also other functions of lysosomes are, that is, digestion of substances within the cell, that is called as intracellular digestion, and intracellular digestion may involve heterophagy or autophagy. That is, heterophagy is the intake of exogenous material into the cell by endocytosis and the subsequent breakdown of this material by the enzymes. But autophagy brings about digestion of cells own material on the death of a cell or with a cellular injury. So these are the two differences between heterophagy and autophagy. So these are the functions of lysosomes. By this, in this class, we came to know about the structure and function of two very important intracellular organelles, that is Golgi complex and also lysosomes. Thank you.